Hello everyone, welcome to Coin Engineer. Today we will talk about what's been happening lately. Yesterday was a terrible day. Whether you're on the future side or the spot side, we all felt this night deep in our bones. I'm laughing, but it was really a sad situation. Billions of dollars went up in smoke. As you can see here, there are CoinGlass data. In the last 24 hours, over $2 billion have been liquidated. These data are from the lunar crisis. And it wasn't even this high during the collapse of FTX. The interesting part is that millions of dollars have been leaked in short positions. So what's really sad is that they say you shouldn't catch a falling knife for a reason. Even opening short positions in falling markets can lead to losses if not managed properly. After yesterday's event, there is certainly a sense of negativity in the market and a feeling of psychological exhaustion. It's not hard to predict this anyway. Everyone is saying the altcoin rally is over. Is it over? Or will the altcoin bull run never start? Some even think that altcoins might be a scam. Most of the comments under videos, even on Sözlük and social media, are filled with these kinds of thoughts. But is there any truth to these thoughts? Why did the market drop? Will it continue to fall? What awaits us in the upcoming period? Let's talk a bit about these, friends. Many people have even considered selling their spot assets. We've received messages. Never do something like this, friends. I'll explain the reason for this. So, without further ado, let's get into the details. We can say that Donald Trump was the one who started it all, friends. He really opened the way for Bitcoin after that beautiful speech he gave at the Bitcoin conference, which actually led to its all-time high. But what they did later always had a negative impact on the market. You know, after that, Trump launched his own coin and his wife's coin. These actually pulled money out of other altcoins. This also negatively affected the market, and the global moves he made recently, along with some events coming from China, negatively affected the market. Of course, the first reason for the negative trend in the last few weeks was the DeepSeek incident. China has created a competitor to ChatGPT. He did this at a very low cost, friends. Whether we like it or not, it made many investors wonder if we are facing a situation similar to the dot-com bubble that happened in the early 2000s. So could this artificial intelligence thing be a bubble? As it is thought, big money actually. Is there a need for it to be used as a token or not? This kind of debate has actually raised the question of whether all American markets are excessively high. On top of this, Donald Trump's customs tariff issue was added. Friends, we can say that this actually fueled the trade wars. This Canada, which has its own economy, actually imposed customs tariffs on Canada and Mexico in a way that will create a serious barrier on the American side. Friends, this will actually have a negative impact on production. Trump's tough stance didn't yield the results that were expected. So these countries didn't back down, and in return, they said they would follow a similar path. This is of course a terrible situation, friends. That means inflation. On top of that, Donald Trump also increased the customs tariffs from China by 10%. These have been talked about for a while, but the fact that other countries like Canada and Mexico are not taking a moderate approach to the situation has really dragged the market down, friends. As I said, the reason for this is the fear of inflation. We believed that there would be significant interest rate cuts by the end of 2024, moving into 2025. Let's say we were convinced of this. Donald Trump's attitude, his words, and the fact that inflation was a little more stagnant forced investors to think this way. Because interest rate cuts mean plenty of money, friends. In such an environment, we as altcoin investors will also get our share, will take our share, and will make a lot of money. However, this expectation has dropped from 5 to now 2. This has created a serious fear in the market. However, opposing ideas to this notion are also floating around, my friends. For example, Peter Navarro was one of Donald Trump's advisors. He was by Trump's side during the 2016 period, that is, during his previous presidency. He had written an article specifically for this situation beforehand. Rather than creating inflation, this situation, he's talking about how it could make America a manufacturing hub. Of course, Trump had already mentioned that there would be a short-term problem when he made these moves. However, he claims that in the long run, it will be beneficial for the markets. When trade wars and tensions between countries ease a bit and there is a more moderate environment, this will immediately reflect in the prices. However, if this situation we call trade wars is fueled, it won't be good at all. Even if it's for a short time, it can still affect us. So, is everything over? So, should we forget about the altcoin rally? Was it postponed? Or were those small rises we experienced? Was it a rally? So newcomers to the market can ask questions like this, my friends. Was that rise we experienced in the fall the last rise? But what we call the altcoin rally isn't really, like that, friends. Right now we are looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart. The real altcoin rally is the scenario where money moves significantly from Bitcoin to altcoins. This has happened before. In fact, this was the reason we experienced rises from time to time. For example, in November, Bitcoin dominance dropped from around 60 to 55. It had caused a significant influx of money into altcoins. During yesterday's drop, the dominance actually increased incredibly. Naturally, we can say that it has hit the 65 levels on the daily chart. In short, it would be crazy to sell your altcoins at these points. We haven't seen the real rises yet. Yes, your faith may have diminished and you might be scared. Some may have fallen into negative thoughts, as if they will wipe out altcoin investors. So, is the altcoin game over now? Could institutions, whales, or market makers be thinking this way? The opinion is somewhat dominant in the market, but even if they have bad intentions, my friends, they will do this after giving people hope. So at this point, in a hopeless situation, the best thing you can do is to hold on to the coins in your wallet. The selling zones are the areas where dominance has dropped. It will drop again. In fact, with the breaking of this point, meaning the breaking of 53.54, a serious rise will begin. Yes, we're not saying this will happen immediately. We need to get out of the mindset of buying today and making a profit tomorrow. However, leaving altcoins while dominance is at these levels would be a very amateurish approach. Besides this, the movements of Ethereum in 2024 actually resemble the current movements of Ethereum quite a bit. It would be better to be a little more cautious in the short term, but selling your spot investments and getting out of this market, exiting at this point could cause you to miss out on a big opportunity. The best thing we can do right now is to keep an eye on the news flow. What's the situation with inflation, or what are the figures released by America? Besides this, Bitcoin dominance is very important, as I just showed. The areas where we will sell should be regions where we need to start taking profits from our altcoins, and they should be at least below 45%. Besides this, we should keep an eye on Ethereum's movements. After all, that's the biggest altcoin. Its rise will actually be a nice green flag for other smaller altcoins. One of the important data points coming up is on Thursday. So, the non-farm payroll data will be announced on February 7th. As it has already been announced, we will be sharing that on our Coin Engineer News Telegram channel. The market can be influenced by that. In short, we need to accept the market with its ups and downs. And we need to closely follow these trade wars. Now, the decisions made by Donald Trump or the chair of the Fed directly affect our market. Institutions have now become major players in this market. But never really sell your altcoins at these points. Yes, if you're only investing in one coin, you might be able to exit one coin and enter another, but I'm talking about having a nice basket, a well-founded and diversified portfolio. It's not the right time to sell. I hope this video has lifted your spirits a bit, friends. Take very good care of yourselves. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them in the comments. We make sure to respond to each one. See you in the next videos.